What's up guys, it's Jordan here. I'm a former competitive bodybuilder turned into a foodie and a traveler who loves to share all of that with you. I'm so excited about what we're about to make. This is my favorite food on the planet. This is my death row meal. I think everybody has one, or at least it's a question I like to ask people all the time. Like, if you were about to go and you knew, what's the last thing you would want to eat? The reason I love asking this question is I love the stories that people tell. I love the reason these foods are so attached in their minds. For me, that food is okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki is translated from the Japanese to mean grilled as you like it. Okonomi meaning as you like it, yaki meaning grilled, like you hear in yakitori and a few other foods. And the first time I ever had okonomiyaki was at a Shinto street festival in Shinjuku, Tokyo. And I had gone to Japan knowing that I really wanted to try okonomiyaki. But I hadn't found a place yet, hadn't quite lined up, and I just decided to leave my hotel one night and I was wandering through the streets. And here was this just unbelievable display of food, culture, religion, excitement, energy. It was everything I wanted, and I walked by an okonomiyaki stand. And I knew, here's my shot to try this thing. And here's my shot to try the real thing, right? Like, I feel like when you get okonomiyaki here in the States, a lot of the time it is bougeified, for lack of a better word, right? And this is like, it's what I want to get when I'm a couple sheets to the wind and I need something to soak up all that alcohol. I stumbled upon this okonomiyaki stand. I watched in just like complete and utter awe as they assembled this ridiculous piece of culinary art. Like, okonomiyaki, yeah, it means grilled as you like it, but it's the food for me that woke me up to what food can be. And what I mean by that, it's so in your face. There's so many flavors. There's so many things happening. It demands to be seen. It demands to be experienced. And it's one of those things that I think the first time you have it can't really be replicated. And so tonight, we're going to talk about how I make okonomiyaki here in my own kitchen, what I love about it, what I love to see in my okonomiyaki. Again, remember, it's grilled as you like it, so what I like. And to try and recreate that feeling I got of having my okonomiyaki at the street fair, having my draft Asahi in the other hand, sitting in an alley in Shinjuku, watching my understanding of food get turned on its head. And every time I make this dish, I get transported back to that feeling, and I can't wait to share that with you.
So to make our homemade tonkatsu sauce, we're going to add a half cup of dashi, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of Japanese Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, which I forgot to show, 1/3 of a cup of ketchup, about 20 cranks of freshly ground black pepper, and then you're going to whisk that to combine. After that's been whisked, you're going to add a teaspoon of potato starch that's been dissolved in a teaspoon of water. And then, because I'm a dork and I corrupted my video files, I can't show you, but you would simmer this for about 15 minutes until it's thick enough to coat the back of a spoon, and save that as a sauce. Then we're going to give our cabbage a quick rinse just to make sure there's no dirt left over from transport and growing and all that. And you can pull the leaves back on the napa cabbage to just give it a quick rinse. Then we're going to slice this in half and then quarter it after that. And there's kind of a little trick here with cabbage. So once you have it quartered, you're going to turn it and slice with your knife on a diagonal so as to remove that core. And it's going to make it so you just don't have quite as much of that like intense chewy cabbage in the middle. And then you just want to cut this into roughly bite-sized pieces. You're going to scoop that off to the side to save for after we get our batter made. And then we're going to start componing the dry ingredients for our batter. And our batter is going to be a cup of flour, a half teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of baking powder, and a teaspoon of sugar. After that, you can go to work on trimming your pork belly. And this is, you want to try and cut it as thin as you can. Pork belly is notoriously hard to trim. Once it's trimmed, we're going to start working on our wet components. You're gonna combine 2 eggs, whisk those together, and then add that to your batter. And then you're gonna also take a half cup of dashi and whisk that together until you have a smooth batter, kind of like pancake batter with very little dry spots. Then we're gonna add roughly 5 cups of our roughly chopped cabbage into the bowl and stir that to combine. You want the cabbage to be pretty evenly coated, and we'll have a close up here so you can see what the batter should look like when you're done combining it. Then you want to heat a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil over medium or medium-low heat in a cast iron, and just spread out a pretty even layer of your cabbage batter. And then we're going to top that with our pork belly. And the medium to medium-low heat is really key here because it takes a while for the cabbage to cook through. It kind of steams in the middle of the pancake, and you don't want this to burn either the batter or the pork belly before you have a chance to cook it. You'll get a nice little close-up of some sizzling action here. And then you're gonna do your absolute best to de-stick this from the cast iron and give it a quick flip. And then if you're like me, you're probably gonna fudge it a little bit so you can get in there with a spatula and just untuck that. And it's none the worse for wear. Get another sweet close-up of that pork sizzling here. And then that's kind of what you want it to look like as far as doneness and crispness on the outside. You pull that off onto a pan, and now we get to start topping. We're gonna take our tonkatsu sauce from earlier and just brush that across the top. And then you're gonna forget to record adding the bonito flakes to the top of the pancake. Once you have the bonito flakes, you're gonna cover that in Japanese mayonnaise, and then you're gonna sprinkle some aonori on top of that. And this is what your okonomiyaki should look like when you're done.
And there you have it, guys. That's how you make okonomiyaki. This is my death row meal. This is one of the most beautiful culinary concoctions on this planet. I don't have anything else left to say about it. I'm really hungry. I just want to dig into it. So typically you would have like a spatula or something to cut into this with, but I just grabbed some chopsticks. So you cut off a little piece like this and somehow find a way to break off a piece of pork belly. And man, this is one of those foods you want like a little bit of everything. Literally every time I make this, I get transported back to that alley in Tokyo, and it blows my mind. It's smoky from the bonito flakes. It's so rich from the pork belly, from the mayonnaise. Has some nice crunch to it. The cabbage still has some chew to it. It's not like just steamed soft cabbage. It still has a little bite. It's perfect. It's literally the perfect food. It's the only way I can describe it. We have that homemade tonkatsu sauce that it's not as sweet as the bulldog that you buy. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, you have to make this, please. If you enjoyed this as much as I'm gonna enjoy eating this, leave this video a like, give me a comment. The best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. I can't wait to keep sharing more food and travel with all of you. Until next time, peace.